And good afternoon. Welcome to Life Unrehearsed. My name is Matt Delvecchio, specializing in life transitions, downsizing in the senior living industry.
And I'm Corrie Sirota, clinical social worker and psychotherapist, specializing in grief and loss.
Coming up on today's show, holiday binging can lead to holiday bulging. It certainly can, but fear not. We've got fitness and nutrition coach Phyllis Frost to help us get back into shape and start the new year off right. And talk about the new year, Corrie. You hanging in there like the rest of us?
Oh gosh, it's hard to not be unmotivated, and I'm sure we've talked about it before, and we will continue to talk about it and keep people try and keep your energy up and your spirits up, and even and connect from a distance like we're doing.
Yeah, connect is right. As you know, I deal a lot with seniors, and we're always promoting trying to stay in touch with them. But that works for all ages. Now's the time more than ever to reach out, FaceTime, connect, phone call, just have those conversations while we're all stuck in our homes. So make that little extra effort if you can. And what do we have coming up in the second half, Corrie?
On the second half, we're going to talk about as our population ages, there's an increasing demand for home care services. So we're going to talk about the ins and outs of home care, including some of the available subsidies that can help people out. That's coming up during our Helping Moms and Dads segment just after 3:30.
Yeah, can't wait for that. So many inquiries now about some additional home care. We've got Jackie Perks that will be our guest on that second half.
So before that, let's get right into the first half. I'm always excited to have my friend and colleague and lifesaver in the studio with us, Phyllis Frost. Phyllis is a certified personal trainer. She's a fitness and nutrition coach with, believe it or not, you would never know by looking at her, over 41 years in the fitness industry. She's an author, former bodybuilder, and marathon runner. She approaches fitness with such a huge passion. She works with adults and children with all kinds of different goals. Phyllis works one-on-one and with groups helping people achieve their fitness goals. Phyllis, thank you so much for coming back. Welcome back to Life Unrehearsed.
Hi, guys. Hi, Corrie. Hey, Matt. Happy New Year.
Hi, Phyllis. You too. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Such an important topic, and that's why we specifically like to get it out, because we know people have all these New Year's resolutions. So here we are, beginning of the year. How long does it take to see results when you start exercising?
Okay, great question. So generally speaking, if you're doing all that you need to do, it's going to take about 3 weeks to start seeing a difference in yourself. You may start to feel a difference and notice some small changes a little bit sooner, but losing weight and getting fit, it takes time, so don't get discouraged. But 3 weeks is not, very much. You'll start to see something and feel something very quickly.
So hang in there for the first 3 weeks. Don't give up so early.
Right.
Phyllis, you, in addition to fitness, you're also a coach for nutrition as well. And there's so many different opinions about dieting. What are the best diets to follow, in your opinion?
So my opinion is that learning to eat correctly and learning which foods work for your body in your lifestyle will do better in the long run than going on a diet. A diet is a temporary thing. It's something you're trying to do. But let's talk about a nutrition plan as opposed to the word diet, right? So, everybody's different. Obviously, if you're looking to lose weight, you want to limit your starch carbs. You want to increase your fruits and vegetables, your protein, and drink lots of water. You want to eat a little bit cleaner. The more starches, we're talking about cakes and breads and muffins and, all that stuff like the Pillsbury Doughboy, he looks like that way, right? So that's what it does to us. It makes us look puffy. Well, it's true. So if you're cutting those kinds of foods down in your diet and you're exercising regularly and your output is more than your intake, then you're going to lose weight. And if you're if you're exercising, like many years ago, I used to run. I ran with the Wolf Pack, and I used to run, 15 miles, which is 1,500 calories. But then we'd sit down and we'd be eating bagels and cream cheese and Danish. And I just ate the whole thing back. So it's not that I put on weight. I maintained, but I was solid and thick as opposed to being lean. That's the difference.
That's the voice of fitness and nutrition coach Phyllis Frost. She's talking about how to get yourself back into shape or in shape after the holidays and start of the new year. Phyllis, is there such a thing as specific exercises that would help you lose weight?
All of them. every movement is good for your body and weight loss. It's how much energy and intensity you put into what you're doing and is what you'll get out of it. So like it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, right? Again, it's a like with exercise, with anything, it's a journey. So the more muscles you use, the more energy you're going to output. So if you want to burn more calories, you would do a burpee with a push-up as opposed to just doing push-ups and then squats afterwards. So you would try to keep it more intense. So, that's basically the whole thing about it is intensity. So when people say, how long should I work out? Well, it depends what you're doing. If you're doing weight training and you're doing 3-4 sets of an exercise, you may work out for an hour and a half because you're doing your repetitions. You have to rest in between, all that. Whereas if you're doing more of a HIIT workout where you're doing circuit or Tabata, you may work out for half an hour to 45 minutes to an hour because it's much more intense. So you can only do so much.
Yeah, and I like what you're saying because there's not one magic rule. You adapt it to your needs and what you want, and it doesn't necessarily have to be. Oh, I've got to do an hour and a half, 2 hour workout. You can get just as much accomplished, like you say, in these quicker HIIT type workouts in a shorter period of time, if that's one of your goals. And Phyllis, I hear time and time again, people that are working out, they're working out to lose weight, but they end up gaining weight. Why is that?
Right. Okay, so there's two reasons. Okay, there's more than two. I'm going to give you just two answers. The answer is no. So there's two situations that can happen. If you're exercising and you're lifting and putting on muscle, you will see an increase in the scale because muscle weighs more than fat. So no question about that. The second situation is if you're overeating after your workout, which is like what I just described, what I did all those years ago in my 20s, then you decide to treat yourself every single day to unhealthy food, then you'll probably break even. So do you know what I mean? You'd have to eat a lot. Like if you go do a good workout, let's say you burn off, let's say 500 calories in your workout, okay? Well, if you're going to go out and you're going to go to McDonald's, there goes your workout. Like you lost it on the French fries. So the idea, right. So the idea is to think of being in a deficit rather than breaking even. Like, people say, I work out so I can eat. Okay, like I had this and this and this, and now I can have my wine or have my whatever. That's the mentality. To me, it's all about, know how many calories a day that you want to eat. Choose foods that are clean and healthy. You don't want to eat canned vegetables. You want to eat as much fresh produce and lean protein as you can in your meals. And there's so many nice, you can still have pasta and you can have wild rice and there's so many cool choices now, like these cognac noodles. They're made out of like root vegetables. They're really good. I use them all the time. Spaghetti squash. It's just a matter of learning, getting educated that there's more foods out there and, being able to take a little time just to prepare, do your shopping list, have what you need. Very often what I'll do is I'll say to people, plan your food for the week. Monday night you're going to have, I don't care, you're going to have chicken. Then the next night you're going to have fish. The next night you're going to have pasta. You're going to have, you get my point? And then that's how you do your shopping list. So you save money, you get what you need, and you don't have to make yourself crazy and easy. And I'm the laziest in the world. My salads all come from boxes. I'm super lazy. So it's definitely doable, but there has to be that balance. So if you don't want to gain weight, if you want to get lean, if your goal is to get lean, then you have to keep your calories on the lower side, but with still eating properly so that you don't lose muscle. So you have to make sure you have enough protein in your daily nutritional plan.
Phyllis, can you give us a range of calories, men, women? I know we got to go to traffic, but if you can quickly kind of ballpark figure it.
Okay, so very quickly, they say men, I think it's 2,000 calories a day to 25 is a bit high. For women, I usually recommend women being anywhere between, depending on your goals, okay, between 14 and 18, okay, and men, 2,000 to maybe 2,400. But again, it depends on what you're doing. It's I don't even like answering that question because depending on your height, depending on your gender, you burn calories differently. So I really don't feel all that comfortable sort of that you could find on Google.
I was just curious, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, but everybody's different. That's why. Okay, and everybody's metabolism is different. That's why, let's say, I could do a workout, and I can work out with someone who's, let's say, 50 pounds heavier than me. They're going to burn more calories than I did in that workout, probably, because they have more mass. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
You can't, yeah.
As fitness and nutrition coach Phyllis Frost. Phyllis, we need to go out to traffic. When we come back, I guess a question that you get all the time, and I think we hope to have a magic answer. I'm not sure there is one, but is it possible to lose weight fast?
Welcome back to Life Unrehearsed. I'm Corrie Sirota. I'm with Matt Del Vecchio, and we are talking to fitness trainer and coach Phyllis Frost. Phyllis, the world is waiting with bated breath on this answer. Is it possible to lose weight fast?
All right, so let me say this. Yes, you can drop weight quickly, but are you losing fat or are you losing muscle? So any fast plan, any fast thing, it's not going to be healthy and should be avoided. So losing weight and getting fit, it's not a fast process. But let me just tell you, 1 month, 30 days, I promise you, if for 30 days you clean up your food and you do some sort of activity every day, I promise you will see a difference. 100%. Because any activity that you're doing that you weren't doing before are added calories that you weren't burning before.
Right.
So even if you eat the same way, right, and you increase your exercise, there's going to be a little change there because now you're burning what you weren't burning before. Now take away, the sugar and the foods that don't serve our bodies well, clean it up, eat fresh food, vegetables, salads, that kind of thing, lean proteins, and you're going to lose weight. You're going to 100% lose weight.
Now, Phyllis, a few weeks ago on our show, we were talking about preventing slips and falls, particularly with seniors. And the topic of flexibility and balance came up. And very, very simple exercises that everyone can do. Could you sort of address the importance of flexibility and balance, not just for seniors, but for everyone?
Oh, my goodness, Matt. So a lot of us, we lose flexibility and balance as we age. So when your flexibility decreases, the integrity of your joints, they're compromised, and that leads to joint injuries, muscle tears, broken bones, etc. So flexibility and balance, they aren't normally at the top of the list for many people because they're looking for more of a aesthetic, right? But when you think of fitness as a global, you can't leave it out. It comes into play as everyone ages, and it's tougher. It's a tougher goal to attain because it's hard to quantify. But there's times when, like, for example, with my clients, if we're doing a bicep curl, I'll have them do it standing on one foot. And this way they'll see also it strengthens the stabilizing muscles in your ankles and your legs, right? If they're always standing on both your feet, then, your legs aren't getting the strength, the work that they need to be independent, right? So that's why we do single leg squats and single leg work. We do airplanes where you bend down, single leg deadlifts and stuff like that. Because when you get older, also, there's a chance of your balance being off. You slip, you fall, you'll catch yourself faster. Mm-hmm. And if you do fall, you won't get as injured because you'll have some muscle on your body. Very important.
and I have zero balance, so I have the pleasure and privilege of training with Phyllis, and she helps me. She really helps me. So let's get to the biggest mistake that people make when they start out to try and train.
Okay, so I think that the biggest mistake is you want to be in it for the long run. Okay. I think what happens is it's January and they're hitting the gym or they're hitting the videos or whatever they're doing like really hard. And you're getting yourself in the best shape of your life. And, all of a sudden, like, stop cold turkey. You're like, oh, I don't want to do this. It's all of a sudden, the priority you made for yourself isn't so much a priority. Other things are creeping in. So what it has to be recognized, and I've said it a few times already, that this is a lifestyle. Set goals that are attainable. Say to yourself, okay, 3 days a week I'm going to exercise, and maybe, 4 days a week I go for a walk, right? Because you can exercise and walk on the same day. Or if you don't want to take a break or you want to have activity every day, that's great. Then 3 days a week you exercise, and 4 days you go for a walk. And, you keep as much activity as possible. So that's the thing. It's not a quick fix. I wish I could tell you. If it was, people, be honest. I mean, all these things that are out there, the millions and millions of things they've come up with, if any of them worked, then we'd all have done it. We'd all look like fabulous. So it comes down to just self-care, honoring your body, loving yourself enough to take the time. I say to people, if you had to take your kid, God forbid, to the hospital every single day, you take them. Okay, why can't you find a half an hour 3 times a week for yourself?
That's so true. Listening to Life Unrehearsed, Matt and Corrie here, and we're talking to fitness and nutrition coach Phyllis Frost about how to get yourself in shape and back into shape over the holiday binge. Now, Phyllis, the gyms are closed. A lot of people are gym rats. They love doing their workouts in the gyms. And I've talked to some people, and that's it. They've just stopped working out, period. But you've been through this over the last 21 months. You've adapted yourself to do a lot of home workouts. And so what can you suggest to keep things going, keep exercising at home?
Well, again, it depends on the person. There's a ton of videos out there. I offer online, workouts. There's a lot of trainers that do. The idea is you don't have to do it. I train my clients, sometimes I train them for a half an hour, and it's just super intense for half an hour. You don't need the equipment. If you have a towel, get yourself a yoga mat, and maybe some ankle bands, then you don't need anything else. And it's just a matter of, people don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So maybe it makes sense to maybe have an appointment, whether myself or who, and get a program, have it shown to you, and then off you go. I do that a lot. And, we'll meet back in 6 weeks. We'll reevaluate what's working, what's not, how are your results. And it's fantastic. But the group training, if you could get into it, Corrie can attest. We've been doing it all through all through COVID. I started doing it before because I'm very grateful. I have clients that travel, and I've been training online with people for years. So for me, the transition was like, I'm very grateful. It was an easy transition.
So when you say group training, Phyllis, you're talking like online. You're all sort of together on a Zoom call type thing.
Yeah, like I have exactly like on my evening groups where there's 10, sometimes anywhere between 6 and 10 people, and everyone's in their own home. I train people during the day, like, one's in New York, one's in Hampstead, one's in, like it does, you don't have to all be together. I could see everybody. They could see me, and they all have the equipment they need. And I tailor the workouts around what they have, and it works because I take a look at the shape that my clients are in, and they look great. So it's a testament.
It definitely works.
It's all
yes,
about
it
intensity.
is.
It doesn't matter where you are. Your body doesn't know if you're in the gym, wherever you are. It only knows intensity. So when you put the force on it, it reacts. That's what it knows. Whether it's a dumbbell, a tubing, a towel, body weight, it doesn't matter as long as there's intensity. And
Phyllis,
proper
is it better to mix it up? Like, I know I'm going to throw out some terms that I learned from you, like Tabata, CrossFit. Like, is it better to do different exercises on different days, or?
Okay, again, so I guess it's what your goal is. So the people that do my classes, their goal is to be fit. No one's looking to go on stage. No one's looking to, build huge muscle. Their goal is to be strong and fit. So in that case, that's why I do very often, I do things in circuits, whether it's a Tabata circuit, 25 seconds on or 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, or I'll do 45 seconds on, 12 seconds off, like bigger sets. I do circuit. On Wednesdays, we do weight training, and that's where I focus on doing one exercise or supersetting, and then like that. So it all depends on what your goal is. But, my clients will say, I mix it up all the time because very few of them are looking to, put on serious muscle. They just want to be strong and fit.
And they don't want routine and redundancy, right?
Well, they don't get that with workouts and everything.
We're already running out of time here, Phyllis, and we're talking with the fitness and nutrition coach, Phyllis Frost. But I think a big thing, Phyllis, if you could just quickly address, so often, and the gyms know this, everyone's motivated in January, then come February and the rest of the year, it's you're not as motivated. How can you keep yourself motivated year long?
Well, the truth is having accountability will help keep you motivated. So whether you yourself are keeping a diary or a ledger of your workouts, or you have an accountability partner, everyone has to find their how of motivation. For me, I've always had a training partner. I've always worked out with somebody or with my trainer. That's what I like to do.
I love that, Phyllis. find that, make it accountable, make someone accountable, and be there. Phyllis, you have been great as usual. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. How can people get a hold of you?
Thanks so much, Matt. Yeah, you can reach me at 514-941-4438, or my email address is fitbodybyphil. And there's a Y instead of an I. So Phil has a Y. fitbodybyphil@gmail.com. Right. And, you can follow me on Instagram at FitCoachPhilly, PHILLY. And, if you have any questions, feel free to send me messages. I'd love to answer them for you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Matt,
and have a great year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. That's Phyllis Frost, nutrition and fitness coach. Corrie, real quick, what do we have coming up after the news?
Coming up, as our population ages, there's an increasing demand for home services. We'll be talking about the ins and outs of home care, including some available subsidies to help you out. That's coming up.